if you're looking just to look at the EOS R review, what you need to do is go to about 6 minutes 15, and that should roughly take you to the end of the video. The video is made obviously very quickly, spur of the moment. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you at the end. Well, welcome to another episode here on my channel. It's early morning. Been awake for the past hour or so anyway. Had a quick look at the weather forecast for today. It's a bit mixed, but I had a look out my back door because I can look across over the coastline for weather, and the weather looked like it was clear, that we've got a clear morning. There is some clouds over to the east, but it might be enough to get some good light. I thought we'd do a little bit of landscape photography, but I'm going to put a subject in the image, that's i.e. me, and see what happens really. I'm going to go up to a spot that I know well called Hartley Bay. Hopefully get some spectacular shots in there. I've checked the tide times. It should be low tide by the time we get there, so you never know. I'm only planning to spend about half an hour taking a few pictures, seeing what comes of it. Luckily, because it's daylight saving time's over, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so it's a bit more of a reasonable time, not like it was in the summer when it was about 3-4 in the morning. So we'll just see what happens, and I'll film and see what I get from it. Don't know if you can pick that up, but it looks like it's pretty good light here. Incredibly calm, incredibly still, low tide, which is perfect. First light's supposed to be in about 20 minutes. Just starting to see it now, and we'll head down to the bay and just see what we come up with. You never know. Right, try and find a spot. Hopefully, I don't know whether you can see that. You probably can't, but the lighthouse is in beautiful silhouette. Tighten those off. Hopefully you can see that. My new camera, Canon EOS R. Someone said I've got 24-105 mm lens on it. Nice flip out screen, which makes life so much easier. Right, well, we're going to head down here. Let's make it a bit more spectacular, I think, with the light hitting the water. Really unusual pattern, bright red. I don't know whether that's good or not. I've got the detail on the rocks at the front here. It's got layers in it. I'm not sure if it's inspiring enough. Let's see what else I can come up with, some texture. Anyway, here we are. I'll show you the results afterwards. I'm not inspired. I know it looks tremendous, but is it just another sunrise? Is it just another thing? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, my setup is as it is. It's capturing what you're seeing, which is great, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, EOS R review. Did I make a mistake in buying the camera? It very much depends upon your own point of view. It depends upon what you're trying to get out of the camera. I think having talked to a few of you over the last sort of few weeks, I think it's always a very apparent thing that there's a massive personal choice. The EOS R, which is very difficult to say to you because I would have this at the moment, is a camera that has caused many people to turn around and say, don't bother, it's the stepping stone for Canon to move on to bigger and better things. And that could certainly be the case. It very much depends upon how you judge something. In terms of myself, what I'm looking for, I was looking for a workhorse camera that would produce good results. Specification 30 megapixels. Would seem on the face of it to be very much an average sort of point of view. The sensor from the Canon 5D Mark IV, people would argue, is an older sensor, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. And that's very much the case in this instance. The actual quality of the photographs that you produce are more than I would ever need, and actually do sort of get rid of that idea of the high resolution cameras producing so much noise. You actually get fantastic detail, but you lose that somehow the photography edge to a photograph. And I feel that this camera has certainly delivered that in a better way than perhaps my Sony A7R II did. In terms of what it can have for the photographer, it has an excellent EVF, it has an excellent back screen that's fully articulating. In terms of menus, typical Canon menus, excellent menus, good button layout. I have actually quite big hands and they fit very, very well on the grip. The ergonomics of this camera are truly spectacular, very comfortable, and in many respects that's going to be a majority of everything that you possibly think of in terms of specifications. Obviously the videographer, it has many different features to it. I am just very much starting out in videography and putting it onto simply AI, let it work itself, produces excellent quality videos that I don't have to worry about, that it produces them in a good quality manner, and that's it. However, as hopefully my skills grow in terms of videography, the camera will allow me to grow with it and be able to allow me to do certain things like colour grading and what have you, using the V-Log system and maybe taking more towards manual, but that's what the camera's about. In terms of stills, it produces everything that I needed to. The lens system is vast in terms of the fact that you can put an adapter on and use all of the EF-L lenses, all of which are extremely good quality. And nobody would probably need to have anything more in terms of that quality. Some of them are extremely well priced, make embarrassingly so compared to, say, some of the competition. The camera itself can actually take lesser lenses that cost only a couple of £100. But as we all know, glass is really the key to everything. And I think with Canon has that edge when it comes to glass. It produces some wonderful glass. So speaking, we have the 24-105 RFL lens on. It's a kit lens that I think some were shipped out with. Again, got this second hand as well as the camera for a reasonable price. The lens itself is absolutely excellent. produces good quality all the way through, and certainly at f4 it is a good camera lens. It has image stabilization, which obviously allows it to be a little bit better in darker conditions. However, one criticism: it's very heavy. And if you're vlogging, certainly if you are into vlogging, you think this could be the camera lens for you, I would think again. However, again saying that, Canon are producing lenses, EF lenses for the RF system that are extremely affordable. The quality is exceptional. Many reviewers cannot knock them at all and are highly recommending these. And certainly, obviously without weather sealing, but certainly these are very, very good things to think about when it comes to a camera. Can we afford good lenses? And certainly with the RF system, yes, you can now, and there are more. A new 50mm was announced and should be available very soon. So you can buy those types of lenses that will produce extremely good results. Where in other systems, other manufacturers, the lesser lenses you do argue with, are they as good? So in terms of that, it's a very good camera. Why then did people knock it? Why then did people say, oh, this is just Canon's stepping stone to bigger and better things in the mirrorless system? They could very well be right. It does everything very well, but it does nothing exceptionally. But it doesn't need to. When you're buying a camera, if you're buying a camera for a feel, a character, Fuji, Leica, those type of cameras will give you that. But they're different cameras, they're a different idea. Well, you can argue that Fuji with some of its systems will rival this. Maybe they will, but they're not full frame. And full frame does give you an edge. It does give you better light. It does give you that little bit extra, and you can tell a difference in terms of that. However, in summary, if you're simply looking for a camera that does everything well and will support you, will not let you down, will give you good results, both stills and video, and you're quite happy to accept the fact that this is an evolution, not revolution. If you're looking for a good mirrorless DSLR at a reasonable price with good lens systems and video and stills, don't look too far beyond this camera. And as the RF camera lens line continues, and as a lot of these products come onto the market, second-hand prices will reduce, but with fantastic quality. Think about this one. I don't believe it was a mistake. I believe it was good for what I wanted it to do, and it does exactly that. It does it no better or worse than perhaps a Nikon or a Sony. There are many things that you can say are positives and negatives, and that is all you can say. You have to make the choice. But for me, I'll stick with it. This is my workhorse camera, and that's the best way to describe it. If I want the feel and the revolution and everything else, I've got a Ricoh GR3, the Fuji 100V, those cameras, or a Leica, or perhaps the systems to go towards. So I think, to finish off, all I'd like to do at this moment is just say, stay safe, look after yourselves. In the UK here we're in lockdown. I myself actually am in further lockdown, so I won't be actually able to get out for another week or so, but I do have some recordings, luckily, that I will be editing soon, and I will try and do some more vlogs, and we'll talk to you soon. But please do take care. Bye bye.